Hi, everyone. It's Mary, your 90 Day Fiancé Kiki and Kibit's host. And I'm here with 90 Days and 900 Seconds. And I'm here to recap Season 5, Episode 5, False Starts and Promises. But in my opinion, this episode should have been named Morning After Regrets because almost every couple featured on this episode had a morning after regret, from Hamza and Memphis to Elena and Caleb to Mike and Jimena. Only one half of that couple had a morning after regret. To basically Gino and his Christmas present to Jasmine, which we'll get more into that later. So let's hop right into the recap, why don't we? So, to our first couple, Memphis and Hamza. So we start off the episode with basically Memphis dealing with the aftermath of 30 seconds of Boom Boom with Hamza. He snuck into her bed during the night, and apparently they had a very quickie. Hamza has no stamp. Hamza has no stamina. Let's just put it that way. Let's be nice to the guy. I mean, Memphis wasn't so nice, but Hamza has no stamina, and he says it was due, to it being about 8 months since he had sex. But basically, Memphis is dealing with the fallout due to 30 seconds of boom boom. So we start off the episode with basically Memphis telling Hamza that he needs to make things good with his mom because she doesn't want to be on his mom's shit list. She realizes the morning after, a morning after regret, my peoples, that this might not have been such a good idea to have sex with him in his mother's house in a very conservative Muslim household. But she goes and she sends Hamza to make things better with his mom, and his mom is not happy. First, Hamza tries to straight out lie to his mom, and his mom's like, listen, I'm no dummy. Don't lie to me. Don't piss me off even more. So Memphis comes in and she's like, is everything okay with you people? Are you happy? Is your mom happy? And his mom is not happy, but she puts on the happy face. So next scene, Hamza and Memphis go. They go to the little market and whatever. Then they go to the cafe, and Memphis is trying to find out the root of why Hamza does not have stamina. And Hamza's like, oh, I am sexy, baby. I am sexy. And this moment, he's reminding me of Ziad for some reason. I don't know if it's the accent and the, oh, I am sexy, baby. I am sexy. But he's trying to convince Memphis that he does have stamina. It's just been 8 months, long time. And, things happen. And Memphis, I'm sorry. I think I would be more concerned of the fact that I pissed off my future mother-in-law than that, we had a little stamina issue the first night. You could always work on stamina. If your mother-in-law hates you, then that's a kind of a bigger issue. So I was kind of like, girl, you need to focus your priorities a little more, but whatever. So they get back to the house, and then you hear kind of sounds coming out of the house, and you're like, what the heck is going on? Memphis girl is trying to gut a fish. And I feel her in that moment because I cook. Don't get me wrong. I cook a lot of things from scratch, but I have never gut a fish myself. And I'm sorry, I'm a New York City girl. I have people in the fish market to do that for me. You will never catch me gutting a fish myself. It is disgusting. And I felt Memphis's pain every second of the way when she was gagging and everything. I felt you, girl. So Memphis is trying to cook this dinner. Hamza's mother's like, oh my goodness, she keeps cooking like this. My son is going to starve to death. I mean, give the girl a minute. She's only been there for a day. You could teach her how to cook, your type of food, but whatever. She didn't get a good first impression of her. So I don't blame her for throwing the shade a little bit. So they all sit down to dinner, and she wanted to question her a little bit after she laid down the law. Mama Hayat was not having it. She's like, tonight, Hamza, sleep on couch, you sleep in bed, That's it. And Memphis is like, okay. And Hayat is like, you see, Memphis said okay. End of discussion. Then she wanted to talk about Memphis's prior divorces, which this is where a little bit of the miscommunication comes in and the language barrier. And this is why I'm going to say this again. We needed Adam, the translator, in this scene because Adam would have been able to translate this whole conversation, not only for the language, but with emotion as well. So if you check out our interview, and I'll put the link in I'll put the link in my notes. Adam not only translates the language, but he translates the emotion behind the language. And Hayat was really trying to get her emotion out to Memphis and how she is worried because Memphis has had these prior relationships that didn't work out, that how she could possibly get into a relationship with her son and it not work out and end up in divorce. And Hayat being um Hayat being I don't want to say a victim, but she's divorced herself, so she sees what divorce does to a family, and she just wants not to, and her children not to go through what she went through. So because of this language barrier between her and Memphis, this was a very human moment, but it couldn't come across between the two people trying to talk it out because of the language barrier. And this is why we need Adam. Paging Adam, your services are needed again. So moving on. Caleb and Alina, another morning after regret. And it's not because Alina slept with him. It is because Alina didn't get to have sex with him. She was really annoyed. And you know something? I see a lot of people making comments online that she's, kind of thirsty and kind of desperate looking, but I don't blame her because if she was a chick of normal size, I think Caleb would have been all up in there. And he even admitted in his little confessional side thing that he got into his head because of Alina's size. Now, if she was a normal size chick, he would have slept with her that first night. He started off all passionately with her, got into his head just for the fact that she's a little person, which I think is kind of fucked up because not for nothing, he's been talking to her for 13 years. They've been friends for 13 years. We find out later on that she basically auditioned, kind of, to be his girlfriend. They were friends and whatever. And then they had this inside joke about her becoming his mail order bride. So like she basically auditioned to be the guy's girlfriend. Kind of cringy people, but whatever works for them. And then, they finally meet for the first time in person. He gives her a hug. Then, then the next day they finally kiss. Then he, goes into this whole passionate kissing session and then gets into his head and doesn't have sex with her. Do you blame the girl for feeling kind of like, what's wrong with me? Am I not, adequate enough? Like, what's going on? I don't blame her. A normal sized chick would feel, what's wrong with me? Am I not good enough? Why doesn't this guy want to sleep with me? We had this passionate makeout session. I want to fuck him. Why doesn't he want to fuck me? I would feel the same way. Like, what the hell? I got into my head. Caleb, you're cringe. I don't know. He's just cringe. And then this whole workout scene. I'm sorry. That whole workout scene was cringe to me. From the way he was carrying her down the stairs like she was some type of storage bin to the fucking gym. Then the girl cannot walk long. She can't walk long distances because of her condition and because of her feet. So what does he do? He puts her on a treadmill to run. Are you fucking kidding me? Really, Caleb? That he has her doing sit-ups and like all of these exercises that are not necessarily made for her body type. Like, Caleb, You want you guys to work out together and do something that you're interested in. Maybe you could have thought of exercises that were made for her body type. The curls with the dumbbells was a good idea. Yes, I give him that. But sticking her on a treadmill and trying to have her run, cringe, dude. That was really cringe and really dumb. So, moving on, they go to have dinner with her friend Maria. Maria wants to know what's up. Does he have a plan? What's going on? He basically tells Maria, listen, that's between me and Alina. I don't think I should be having this conversation with you, which, believe it or not, I'm kind of on Caleb's side because they just can't date. They just met 2 days before. They needed to get to know each other a little bit. But I'm on Maria's side too. That's her friend, and she wants to know what's up. So Maria and Alina start having a conversation in Russian right in front of Caleb, which I found annoying, a little rude. But hey, once again, Maria wants to protect her friend. And I'm sorry. I think Maria just got the cringe skis vibe from Caleb because that's the vibe I get from him. So I think Maria's sitting across from that table, looking at Caleb in that god awful shirt. What the fuck was up with that shirt? Oh my lord, that shirt was god awful, by the way. And she just got the skeezy, I don't like this dude vibe and was zoom with the questions. And that's what a good friend does. And that is one thing we see about Alina. She has good friends. And that tells you what type of person she is. Because someone that has real, true, good friends surrounding her is a good person. So then at the end, they have their little scene in the bedroom, which I do not think the bedroom scene was cringe, but the fact that there was a cameraman in the bedroom until the lights were turned off and you could still hear them going at it was cringe. Cameraman, get the fuck out. Give them their privacy. What's wrong with you? So, anyway, moving on to regrets. Jasmine and Gino. Now, I know I might lose a couple of followers and a couple of subscribers when I say this, but I like Jasmine. Jasmine, she rides the crazy train, but she rides my kind of crazy train. People, we all have our flaws. I'll be the first one to admit I need anger management. Jasmine rides my kind of crazy train. So, Jasmine takes Gino to go shopping because he's going to meet her friend Leo. And, Gino got to look top notch to meet Leo because his little, athletic shorts and the sandals not working. And not for nothing, Gino won't take off his fucking hat, but he'll show off those crusty toes. Gino, come on. Anyway, so she takes him shopping and she's not even looking at price tags, people. She's just taking things and she's like, oh, Gino, you're going to try this. You're going to try this. They get to the register and it's like $514. It's like suddenly the store turned into Costco and she snuck in a big screen TV and like a case of diapers and a fucking case of like frozen waffles. I mean, all of a sudden it was like $514. And Gino's like, I wasn't planning on spending this much money on clothes, people. I haven't worked in 7 months. This trip is costing me money. I'm not doing this. And Jasmine's like, what are we going to tell the cashier? And Gino's like, I don't know. Jasmine's like, well, I guess we're going to do what we call in New York City the old dip and dash. So she's like, well, we have to go get his wallet. Could you hold this for us? And the cashier's like, sure. And Jasmine's like, come on. So they did what I call the old dip and dash. They left, went back to the hotel. Jasmine's, annoyed, but they go meet her friend Leo and they're talking about Gino right in front of him in Spanish. Kind of sounds like Maria and Belina talking about Caleb in Russian. Another common theme throughout this episode. So they're talking about Gino, and Leo brings up, does Gino know about the birth control pills? And Jasmine's like, no, I haven't told him. But as she tells us, she plans on telling him soon because She knows Gino really wants to have a child, but not right now because children are a lot of work. And yes, I'm with you, Jasmine. Children are a lot of work, no matter how old they are. So, anyway, she Leo tells Gino a story about Jasmine's temper. One time, Jasmine kind of flipped out in Leo's salon and almost killed his assistant because she burned Jasmine's hair. I hate to admit this, people, but I kind of had an incident like that in a nail salon a few years ago where the chick that was doing my nails cut me, made me bleed, and then burned me trying to stop the bleeding. By the time I was done, they had I didn't have to pay for any of my services. They gave me a gift certificate and they were practically pushing out the door and locking the door behind me. So, Jasmine, I feel you because I nearly killed a bitch that cut my finger. So, and like I said, people, anger management is not one of my qualities. We're all flawed. Moving on. So, boom, it's Christmas morning. And this is where Gino experiences his morning after regret. So Jasmine's like, okay, it's Christmas morning. And Gino's like, let me make you breakfast. My vegan lover that I love so much. I'm going to make you eggs. Jasmine's like, hello, vegans don't eat eggs. And Gino's totally not listening. And he's like, how many eggs would you like? Two? And he just makes her eggs and toast. And Jasmine's like, have you been listening to me? Vegans don't eat eggs. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. There's a lot of things I need to learn about a vegan diet. Yeah, no shit. Start off. Google. Anyway, so she's like, oh, let me give you your Christmas present. So she gives him a shirt. I love my crazy Panamanian girlfriend. And then she has a matching shirt that says, I am the crazy Panamanian girlfriend. Then she gives him a little pillow that says, if you miss me, hug this pillow, Gino and Jasmine. So, they weren't very expensive gifts, but they were thoughtful gifts and they were cute gifts, for their relationship. They were cute gifts. So she asked Gino, oh, where's my gifts? Where's my gifts? And Gino's like, oh, your toothbrush. Excuse me? First of all, I would be annoyed if I was in Jasmine's shoes if my man was giving me a toothbrush for Christmas. I've been with my husband for almost 20 years. If he gave me an electric toothbrush for Christmas, I would shove it up his ass. I'm the first one to say this. I would shove the electric toothbrush up my husband's ass if he gave me one for Christmas. That is a totally like unthoughtful the everyday gift. You're in the fucking drugstore and you're like, oh, let me pick up an electric toothbrush for my significant other. You don't give your significant other an electric toothbrush for Valentine's Day, their birthday, or Christmas, or you risk having it shoved up your ass. Thank you. I said it. So, secondly, I think I would like to think, let me put it that way, that Jasmine would have been happy with anything, a t-shirt, a teddy bear, a simple ring, a box of chocolates, anything with thought that Gino would give to her, not an electric fucking toothbrush. That is just like, to me, like I said, you're in the pharmacy and you're like, oh, let me pick up an electric toothbrush for my wife. I mean, that's not a thoughtful birthday. Oh, and let me throw anniversary in, by the way. Birthday, anniversary, Christmas, Valentine's Day. You do not get your significant other an electric toothbrush. So this is where Gino is dealing with his morning after regrets. So Jasmine flips out, turns it into a, you give your exes everything type thing, which I don't know why she's so hung up on the exes. The girl needs to stop it with the exes. That's one thing. Jasmine, girl, stop it with the exes, okay? Because that's going to, drive Gino away, make him crazy, and it honestly just makes you look crazy. Stop it with the exes. Don't everything always turns into a fight about his exes. Give it up already. So, anyway, Jasmine and Gino get into another fight. She stalks off. We'll see what happened next week. Moving on. Mike and Jimena. Mike is the only one that did not have a morning after regret because he said that his jiggy jiggy with Jimena was the best sex he ever had. Jimena was like, it was normal. So Jimena has a big secret. Dun dun dun. She's had her tubes tied and she can't have any more children. But she hasn't told Mike about this. Dun dun dun. And Mike is kind of like, why hasn't she told me anything about this until now? Like, what is up, peoples? So, um, and Mike is kind of like disappointed because he wants to have his own children with Jimena, and he kind of wish he heard this news before then. And on top of that, she waits to take him to this beautiful waterfall, this romantic place where they had this great day. And she waits until the end of the day to drop this news on his lap. And then, as we see next week, she tells him a little bit more about her past, that she was with a hitman that had her thrown in jail. And Mike is like, what the? So, yeah, very interesting. So, moving on. Ella and Johnny. Now, there has been a lot of theories on the interwebs about this couple. So, I just wanted to share my opinion on the theories. There is a theory that Johnny never makes it to the US because obviously, because of the COVID pandemic restrictions all over the world, especially China, he never gets out of China and makes it to the US. And you know something, people? I fucking believe it. And that basically TLC subcontracted some other production company to shoot all of the scenes in China with Johnny. And you know something, people? I fucking believe it because there has been such strict travel restrictions with COVID in China that they can't even travel within the country. What the fuck makes you think that Johnny is going to be able to get a visa to come to the United States to be with his girlfriend? I don't think so. Okay, so anyway, basically, this episode, we get introduced to Johnny's son, Stony, and to Johnny's parents. And his parents are very concerned that if he goes to the States, that he may not be able to find a job. How is he going to support his family? Because as we learned, it's very common in China for the grandparents to take care of the child. And we also learned in this episode that Johnny's first marriage failed because his parents, in particular his mother, did not get along with his first wife. And that it's very difficult for a divorced single father to find a Chinese woman because there is not a lot of Chinese women living in China because of the old law that Chinese families were only allowed one child and most families prefer the son. So there is not a lot of women apparently in China. So Chinese women are slim pickings. And Johnny also thinks an American woman will be better for him, not only accepting him as a single father, but the communication with his parents, because if his mother has anything bad to say, the his girlfriend won't be able to understand because she will only speak English and his parents only speak Chinese, and they would have to rely on him for communication. Kind of smart, Johnny, kind of smart. So, but Johnny was thinking about it and he's, feeling guilty for leaving his son because he only spends a short amount of time with his son every month due to work. And so Ella is going off to the gym. She's going to meet a personal trainer because she wants to lose 10 pounds before Johnny gets here. Because she's really worried about what he's going to think about her. Because no matter how many pictures she sent, no matter how many times she tells him that she's really big, she's afraid that he's going to get here and he's going to say, my goodness, I did not think that you were as big and, that you were this big. So Ella wants to go to the gym. She wants to lose at least 10 pounds before Johnny gets here. She sets up, a personal training session. And as she's working out, she gets a text from Johnny. Dun, dun, dun. Johnny's Singapore visa has been denied. Surprise, surprise, people. He's not going to be able to travel here from China, and it's not going to happen. Sorry to burst the bubble, but this is my prediction. Johnny will not make it to the US, and him and Ella will not meet in person. So, next week, Kimberly, who names herself Boss Lady Kim, are we going to give her the initials of BOK now? Is not happy about Usman's video shoot that is hopelessly disorganized. Alina took a ride on the disco stick. You go, girl. And she spills the tea to Elijah, riding the disco stick. I think I'm going to use that from now on. So now we get to meet the final couple of the series on episode 6. You know, I was thinking about them today. I was like, when the fuck are we going to meet this final couple? So we have Ben, who has been catfished before, and Mahogany, who he has not video chatted with, but he swears is real. Paging Ben, it's another catfish. And then we have Jimena spilling the beans about the hitman that she used to live with to Mike. And then Hamza lied about his age. So not only did he lie to Memphis about his mom being okay with them sleeping in the same bed, he lied about his age. It's only a year, apparently, because he's 27. He told Memphis he was 28 from when we seen a preview, but still, a lie is a lie. And last, Jasmine is still on this thing about the ex, flipping out about Gino's house, and it's being decorated in the colors of his ex's country, and then she has a total meltdown. Jasmine, girl, give the ex thing up already. You're just going to fuck yourself in the long run. So that's all I have to say. I hope you people enjoyed my episode. Like, share, and subscribe, and see you guys soon. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye.